Good afternoon, fellow Americans. Here at the eve of Christmas, tomorrow will be the 25th. And I keep seeing more and more videos and news that just baffles me. I put down a lot of things here. I wanted to start off with Danny DeVito, who now has turned communist. Let me go little by little. We're going through that. I guess I'm going to live that. I hope to God we don't. I hope to God we don't. The support Trump is getting from the people makes me believe he won't lose. But there's so many, naive people, or they're retarded, or something. Or they're autistic, or there's something wrong with them that they don't want to learn the truth. They don't care. They won't. They won't. It won't enter into them to know what communism really is. And it's not going to be a Merry Christmas for long if we don't wake up. If we don't see reality the way it is, we don't study our past history, not ours, because we've been blessed. But past history in other countries, seeing the examples of other countries going to the drain, destroyed by communism, it's gonna eventually happen. There's gonna be an implosion of our democracy, and we're gonna lose it forever. And unfortunately, that's what Democrats are looking for. I didn't want to start off. I don't want to start off with Danny DeVito yet because even though I got it here, I just want to start off with something else before I go to directing myself to Danny DeVito because I can't believe he's that incredibly stupid. But according to what I'm looking at, it sounds like he is. I hope I'm wrong, but I doubt it because there's the photo here you're going to see later on. But first, I want to start off with a Islamic terrorist. This is terrible. Look what's happening around the world. There's this Muslima. Let me put it right here. I want you to see this. And we keep letting them in. Europe is letting them in. And they're not learning a damn thing. And you know why it is? Because they're getting money. The politicians are getting money. And the amount of money they're getting filthy rich. But what is the money going to help them with when the Muslims come after them to cut their head off, to behead them because they're a Christian, or to do any other barbaric things to them, like burning them alive, running them over with a tank? You know, is it going to take? What I'm perceiving is that politicians around the world have lost their sense of how you call it. There's a word for it. One of the great Americans of the American Revolution said something about it. Said we're losing something like respect. It has to do with respect and honor. But he said it in a very good word, even though he mentioned honor. Well, let's go there. Losing your honor, your love for your country. And they say, these communists say that they love their country. Now they're talking about the Constitution, like they're going to respect it. When they really want to do is just remove it. Because the removing it gives them the power they need to be in place forever. Whoever grabs it first. And I hope to God, I pray to God every day that it isn't a Muslim or a communist. Look at this. Turkey. Veiled Muslima on plane says she has bomb. I will blow up the aircraft. Can you imagine you be in an airplane? Because I've been to an airport. Well, I didn't see the well, I saw a couple of married couple who were Muslims. I can tell by the dress code and the guy with the beard and the wife with this veil with this hijab and I said, what the hell, and it was that happened like after a little bit after the 9/11, and I see them here in the island going to these places and and acting in weird ways, where the lady's in back like she's a pet or a horse, like a guy who drives a horse, uh, uh, like the Western movies where you grab the horse, you get off it, and then you wrap the take the how you call the straps of the horse and you just wrap it around a post. It's something like that. You see the Muslims instead of following back of the Muslim. Like, hey, this is what you're gonna do here. This is what we're gonna pose here. You're gonna treat your woman like this. And they do it almost everywhere. It's very rare that I see a Muslim treat the woman decently. There's some cases, but almost all the cases, you see the woman walking him back like she's a servant. She's not there as a wife; she's a servant. And in lower category, like a dog. Well, a dog at least, they're free to roam. The only thing I should left the guy for the guy to do, a lot of these guys that I see, put wrap a chain around her, a collar, and with a chain strapped to her, and pulling her on the chain. That's all we need to see. And it'll probably get to that, because these people that have no shame, they don't care, and they want to impose their will one way or another, and then showing it to us. They say, little by little, hey, this is what's going to happen here. I love my wife. I wouldn't treat her that way. In January, we've been married 45 years. If you really love your wife, I want to tell the people out there, if you really love your family, you love your wife, you love your daughter, would you like somebody to treat you? Would you like somebody to treat your wife like that? And if unfortunately you pass away, anyway, if you pass away, that's it. But let's say your daughter. Would you like to treat your daughter like that in front of you, and beat her in front of you? Because they do that. I've seen videos where they beat them. I mean, beat them savagely on the bus. Bam, bam. One of these Islamic countries. I don't know. I really don't remember where it was, but whipped them. But I remember one case of matrimony. There's this Muslim lady with her husband, and she wasn't doing nothing wrong. She was very quiet, and suddenly the guy just slapped her, or slapped her real hard. And she's like quiet, like, look, she can't do anything. In a free country, you call the cops, hey, they arrest them and take them away. Throw away the keys, and she can ask for a divorce, and they'll grant it right away. But not in an Islamic state. If you women who support Islam, you think you're gonna get away with it in an Islamic state, forget about it. If you think you're gonna get away with, oh no, that's racism, forget about it. Just forget about it. The husband will probably kill you, or hit you harder, or probably they'll whip you right in front of everybody, because You know, the man is the king. Well, this lady, she threatened to activate a bomb on flight. And you know, well, there's more to this. But there's another photo where I see her. Let me see because I want to show you the picture of this lady. Oh, okay, okay, it's right here. Check this stupid individual. She says she's gonna blow up the plane. Right? She's saying it, bomba, bomb. You know, I don't know Arab, but bomba. In Spanish is almost the same, almost the same. Bomba. But you see, bomba. You say bomba in Spanish. They should have opened the door of the plane and throw her out without a parachute. That's what. Well, if I was in charge of the flight, I would have done that. Open the door and say, grab her. Okay, grab her by the legs, grab her by both arms, and let her blow up in midair. Listen, man, she was probably BSing or trying to threaten and scare people. Because if she would have really had a bomb, she would have detonated it. But she just kept saying, you know, these threatening words. The guy that was seated in front of her, you could see the guy was looking at her like, what the. That's the guy looking at her. You know, like, you know, what the end. If I would have been the pilot, I would have, what's happening back here? She said she got a bomb. Okay, open the door, grab her by the leg, real quick. Don't think about it. Wow. Admit it, 3,000 feet up in the air or 2,000 feet up in the air. Oh, she needs a parachute. The hell with that. Bam! And throw her right out. I would have ordered it. I'd probably be one of the pilots who grab her by the feet and the arm and throw her out. I said, no, wait a minute. No volunteers, that's okay, I'll do it. Grab her. Because I was that strong enough. But look, they're permitting the kind of people to get on the plane, you know. There, it wouldn't be no problem for me to see racism. Because they're not going to allow this kind of people on the plane. No, you're not going to on the plane. I'm a Muslim, no, don't go on a Muslim plane. Go on a flight that attends to Muslims only. You fly there, and now you could go on bombs and everything, whatever you want to use, whatever you want to carry, there's okay with that. No problem. Muslims blew up the plane with 300 and so many Muslim passengers. No? They believe in the Quran. They believe in that Quran. No? Adios. I'll keep on going to another commercial flight. Well, I don't see those people anywhere. It's going to get to the point where that's what they're going to have to do. They can't get on the plane, or they're going to have to strip them down and check out. No, no, wait a minute, because a lot of them, you don't know what they carry, what they're thinking. I don't care how moderate they are. You don't know. You don't know. There's people who have committed massacre, like the colonel at Killeen, Texas. You don't know what he's thinking. Suddenly, he flips and starts shooting and killing people and injuring a whole bunch of people. So what are we going to do? We're going to keep on. No, they're religion of peace. Or like this couple who was going to get married in California. They invite this Muslim couple. I think it was a Muslim couple. Yeah, Muslim couple to the wedding. Well, I think it was the Muslim guy or a Muslim couple. And they went to the wedding, and the husband got a machine gun and killed a whole bunch of people at the wedding, including the couple. And it was during Obama's era, during Obama's regime. And Obama, no, that's not Islam. We're a religion of peace. What a piece of work. We had a time. For president, we had a time. He's very smooth, though, not with me. He can act as smooth as he wants, suave. But he was a terrorist. Worse than a mafia member. He was a terrorist. Here's another news. Muslims cannot come out of mosque after prayer and throw stones at police. Muslims. They're not Muslims. Muslims. Are you going to tell me that's a religion of peace? I see some things happen in these mosques where they're going to take reporters are taking videos or something in the area, and they come out and they try to do the same thing they do over there in their country. But here, we can control them because the system is very different from where they come from. But it's going to come to the point where the same thing's going to happen. It's going to happen. One way or another, it's going to happen. One moment or another, where they're going to come out and do the same thing. Throw rocks at police. Probably rocks at the reporter. Probably the stone reporters to death. And these people, they don't care. I don't know who that's why I advise all reporters carry a gun. So when they come up with that crap, just be prepared. And the moment the guy's ready to throw you grab out your gun. Now you can go to your virgins. How many virgins is there? 30-something virgins? I don't know. I really don't care. But if they believe in that stupidity about they're going to get a whole bunch of virgins, well, here, go meet them. With a 44 Magnum. Make sure it's an automatic, with like 15 bullets. But just in case you miss, you're bound to hit it one moment or another. With 15, you're bound to hit. If you know how to shoot, make sure you learn how to shoot too. And there's another one here. Muslims murdered 14 people. Well, keep them bringing them in chat. I think it's in chat. I don't think that's the right. I think it's in chat. Let me check that. Make sure I'm not talking about it. I think it's in Riyadh or something. At least Riyadh or Shad or something like that. That's what it's called. Oh, okay. It's Boko Haram. It's got to be in Africa. Western Chad village. That's where it's at. Several killed in Boko Haram attack on Western Chad village. December 18th. That was just past December 18th of this year. 14 people were killed and 13 were missing after Boko Haram jihadist attack a fishing village in Western Chad on Tuesday. Government officials said there were 14 dead, 5 wounded, and 13 missing in the attack near the village of Kega on the shores of Lake Chad, Umoja, Suabebe, the prefect of the region, told AFP on Wednesday. A lot of people who don't want to hear this or don't care about this, I'm posting it in my videos so you can know what's happening. This is a picture of the area. They don't show the actual killing here. But just let me put that a little bit. This is for Jihad Watch. I got this information from Jihad Watch, the page, jihadwatch.org. So there's no reason for you to be ignorant and not knowing what's happening in the Muslim world. And if you want to know, just go there. They have a lot of information. The information is so abundant and so informative. It's so informative. Remember, I've been a lot of years out of the United States and living here in Puerto Rico so many years sometimes, and my English is starts a little bit, I forget, or my accent is going haywire. Uh, but you want to know what's happening? There you go. It's so great, the page, that LinkedIn don't want to post it because the LinkedIn supports, from what I'm seeing, they support the terror. It's an American-made page, I think so, LinkedIn. And Twitter also. The LinkedIn, they have a icon of LinkedIn where I could uh, redirect these posts to LinkedIn, and it won't accept it. They used to. They used to. So it shows that they support terrorists. They don't want nobody to know what's happening in those countries. So there's something's wrong there. But there's a way of going around it. What I do is I grab it, I copy it, and I pass it to my blog. I pledge allegiance to the flag. And from there, I can't do it in my computer. What I do is I go to my Android, and from here, I pass it on to even my WhatsApp. There's a lot of ignorance here in Puerto Rico. People telling me that it's a religion of peace. So people that are stupid enough, I put it there on my WhatsApp and send it to other people who are this is bad. And then look, you defend them, here you go. I showed them what communism all about. I showed them what Islam is all about, and it's not what they think it is. Now check this one out. I want to show you a video of this guy, this piece of work. Let me read it here for you. Arizona Muslim migrant punches, kicks police officer, throws him to the ground, and threatened to kill him. Kept beating him and hitting him with his taser. Thank God the cop could grab his gun and shot him twice and killed him. Killed a piece of filth. Another one who went to see his virgins. If there is anything like that, if there's anything stupid enough. Uh, and you know what baffled me? You got people here. Look at it. That's the guy. Thank God he's dead. He's dead. And you got people here who believe in that and are converting. You got Americans converted to this. This shit. I have a funny feeling they're going to block me or no longer on YouTube because this is so, I can't stand this. You know, I have to express myself one way or another. And the only way to express myself is using a foul word, which is not accepted. And I'll put it down the video. You're going to see this. This is the guy attacking the policeman. That's the guy. That's the guy right there walking across the street. He's being advised to get out the street. He won't. There you go. He started dancing. I would have shot him right there. Oh, I can't. That's why I couldn't be a policeman. He shoots the taser at him, but the guy still is strong enough to grab the policeman. He kicks him, he butt heads him, he punches him. I'm surprised the police didn't shoot him there and then. Well, I guess he was just too wrapped up in the situation at the moment. But thank God he finally did kill the piece of filth. By the way, this Muslim guy is a sample of exchange of students. He's a student in exchange here. Put a stop to the program of exchanges immediately. Stop it, Trump. Stop this exchange business. It's threatening our police and the security of the whole nation. No, he eventually he killed the prick, even though the cop was injured. But thank God he was killed. Gone. He was there to see his virgin. So there you go. He got his wish. He got his wish. All right. We have to put a stop to this. I remember at one moment, like I said, I tried to go to college. I couldn't finish because of my situation, my economic situation. And I remember one time before I went into the military, I met up with these students that were in exchange, studying at the Central YMCA Community College in Chicago. And one of them, I try to be social with one of them, try to mix and say hi, say hi. And this young guy, I was young at the time, I wasn't old, either. But I think he was younger than me. I think I was older, maybe 24, maybe 25. But I decided to go back into the military. And he looked at me and he said, "Don't you hate the United States?" And when he said that, I looked at him and said, "What are you talking about? What are you talking about?" I looked at him and said, he kind of got kind of scared. He kind of panicked a little bit because he said, "Hey, if you don't like it here, why don't you leave? What the hell are you doing here?" I told him off. The guy eventually shut his mouth in front of me because I called him off. Pretty strong. Thinking about if I hated America. I wish I would have been a cop. I would have grabbed him right there. Or no, go for immigration. Grab him right there. Follow me. Take him back. Take him back to his country. Put him up on charges. There got to be a charge against that kind of thing. Because if you hate the country, which is opening the doors to you, there's got to be a charge. There's got to be some kind of some kind of a violation or law that can imply, detaining this kind of person and just, sending them back. Get out of here. Take them to the airport and, personally take them out and cut and handcuffs and here, he's going back. And you pay with the same money you got from your country to get in here. Take the same money, buy your plane ticket, and bye bye. Adios. Okay, I'm done with these Muslim situations. Every day is getting worse. There's more news, and the thing is, it's hurting our country. It's affecting our country. This is another case. Shayla Jackson, President Shayla Jackson Lee in an airport. Look what it says first. I want to show you the video, but let me see. Maybe the video is going to come out first. Okay, what's
Texas
the video?
Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee at the center of a controversy tonight involving United Airlines. Fellow passenger Gene Simon, a public school teacher here in Washington, D.C., said she was bumped from her first-class seat in favor of the Congresswoman. The teacher tweeting a short while ago that she still has not gotten an apology. Sheila Jackson Lee, the original tweet said, was in seat 1A, the one I paid for dearly, and the one United gave to her without my consent or knowledge. Fellow congressman on same flight said she does it repeatedly at United. Jackson Lee denying she forced United Airlines to bump the school teacher from first class, and United is saying that after checking their records, after the teacher got a notification that the flight was delayed due to weather, she may have canceled her ticket. Congresswoman maintained she got upgraded without knowing the details, but in the spirit of the season, she's sorry. So all's good, right? Not really. Jackson Lee decided to inject race into this issue, tweeting, among other things, quote, "Since this was not any fault of mine, the way the individual continued to act appeared to be, upon reflection, because I was an African-American woman, seemingly an easy target, along with the African-American flight attendant, who was very, very nice." With me now, conservative radio host Larry O'Connor. He's on the radio. Democratic strategist Michael Starr Hopkins. Merry Christmas to both of you. Thanks for coming in.
Merry Christmas, Ed. Good to see you.
Larry, I want to start with you. Why in the world did she inject race?
I am hesitant to say anything critical of Representative Sheila Jackson Lee because then I'll be called racist. I mean, we're all racist. This was an outrage. It really is. But here's the hidden little secret that everyone needs to know. I'm in Oklahoma now, but I work in D.C., so do you, Ed. She's notorious. I mean, Washingtonian Magazine in D.C., a left-leaning publication, year after year, she wins the poll of the most hated congressperson. This has nothing to do with race. This has to do with the arrogant, entitled attitude of most incumbents in Washington, D.C., who like to walk up to a counter and say, "Don't you know who I am?"
Right. Well, Michael, originally we thought when we were going through this story this morning, it's kind of frivolous. It's about a first-class seat. We should be doing bigger issues. And then we hear the congresswoman it was not just one tweet, but a series of tweets suggesting that this issue came up because she's African American. Why would she inject race into this?
Yeah, listen, I'm not going to get into what was going on in her head. I don't know whether race was a factor in it, but I will say that race has become a huge issue in our political dialogue. And I think a lot of it has to do with tone, and that starts at the top. And that starts with the president. And so
now it's the president's fault.
How is this the president's fault?
The president is going to be Trump's fault somehow.
Really?
Listen, maybe race wasn't a factor in this. I'm fine with saying that, but I will say that tone starts from the top. So I think that race is something that we need to look at when we're talking about issues. Race is something we need to be able to have a comfortable conversation about how we deal with racial issues.
It's kind of tough to have that comfortable conversation when something like this happens and immediately a woman of influence and power, an elected official, decides to make it about race. Then how can we have a conversation at this point?
Fair question.
When it's not even about race.
Michael, I agreed with almost everything you said until you said this had something to do with Donald Trump.
Well, no, that's not what I said. I said that our conversations and our tone start with the top. The president, who has played footsies, has, let's not pretend like the president hasn't, been a bigot. I mean, let's just come out and say it. Let's not pretend like the president.
What does that have to do with
Lee? I don't have
That's
to
your
pretend
opinion.
to say that.
Right, that's your opinion. And what does that have to do with the congresswoman elected in her own right, deciding to take kind of this silly dispute on an airplane and say it's because she's African American?
I think the dispute itself is silly. What I'm saying is I think we need to look at the top and where we're getting our leadership from. And when the president acts like a bigot on TV every day, then I think it makes it harder to have
So,
these kinds of
Larry, a Democratic congresswoman tweets this out that it's about race and it's Donald Trump's fault.
Apparently, that's what I'm getting because of the tone. I just think we've come a long way in this country that the struggle from Rosa Parks being forced to sit in the back of the bus has now turned into Sheila Jackson Lee getting her first class ticket on an airplane.
All right,
Well, I mean, you referencing Rosa Parks, I mean, come on, let's not kid ourselves.
No, you're right. She is a symbol. Sheila Jackson Lee, she suffers for all of us. God bless that woman. She's been through hell.
I noticed some sarcasm there. All right, let's shift gears. When you talk about the tone in this country right now, there's a man named Robert Strong, a liberal activist out in California, who decided to basically send a package full of horse manure out to a home that the Treasury Secretary owns in California. Take a listen.
We, the American people, are returning the gift of the Christmas tax bill because it's complete and utter horror. Well, my wife's a lawyer, and I'm not too worried. As it turns out, I'm going to be the guy that gets known for horror.
Larry?
Hard to argue with that.
But, Larry, it was just a couple of weeks ago that you had liberals screaming aimlessly to the sky about Donald Trump. Now they're sending horse poop to the Treasury Secretary. What in the world's going on?
It's like they're trying to guarantee his reelection by a landslide in 2020. Let me just say, as everyone now finishes up their year and they look at their 401k and they see that their retirement just got about 25 to 30% richer over the last year, and you got this guy doing the sophomoric equivalent of leaving a bag of poop on somebody's front porch, on the principal's front porch. Listen, why not bring back Occupy Wall Street while you're at it? Because this will be a landslide for Trump.
Michael, last point.
This.
What about the fact that Bernie Sanders over the weekend admitted that something like 91% of the middle class is going to feel this tax cut? The Democratic talking point about this going to the rich is kind of ridiculous, isn't it?
Well, I'm going to address this guy in the poop thing. I think that was inappropriate. He shouldn't have done it. What I think is more inappropriate is the fact that you would be excited, not only you, Ed, but the other contributor. The fact that he'd be excited for
Larry,
him to be elected again. Hi, Larry. Well, the fact that you would be excited for the president to be reelected. I mean, this guy literally is an embarrassment to this country. We can disagree on policy, but tone, leadership, honor, integrity, he has none of it. He's not a Republican. And if you're really a Republican, then it blows my mind that you would ever.
Larry, last word.
It is that kind of political strategy.
Then the African American guy who defends Sheila Jackson is blaming it on Trump, the situation that occurred with Sheila Jackson on the plane, because it's the tone. Now it's the tone. But if the tone, like Biden, who used the tone where he said something like "son of a bitch," and other Democrats have used stronger tones like Tlaib, this Muslim woman, who said, "We're going to now impeach this effing mother." No, that's okay. They won't even mention that. That's that didn't happen. That's the truth. What you saw was a setup by Trump and somebody who put a voice, replaced her voice with somebody else's voice who looks just like her voice, and that's the voice they used to pronounce that. It wasn't Tlaib that they used that word. I don't know about pronouncing her. And she got this Tlaib. I really don't care. That's this Muslim name that's pretty funny to try to pronounce. and I really don't care about her. And I don't care if I pronounce it right anyway. But and she said that. Why don't they criticize that? You know, they're gonna everything that happens now is Trump's fault. It's Trump's fault. I'm surprised they haven't said that Feinstein, the guy who had this this area somewhere, I forget where it was at, where it would cater to a lot of these corrupt politicians, raping small little girls, underage girls. I'm surprised they don't say it's Trump's fault. Even though Bill Clinton was involved, even though there's a whole bunch of these corrupt politicians were involved in that and have been proven they were there, it's Trump's fault. So everything is Trump's fault. If a Democrat or any liberal commits suicide, it's Trump's fault. If they catch a liberal robbing or committing corruption or laundering money, there is Hunter Biden. He's accused of a couple of crimes here, and I posted it here. They'll probably say it's Trump's fault too. That he used cocaine and he was dishonorably discharged from the military. They'll probably say it's Trump's fault also. There's no way to win with the Democrats. They won't accept it. At least this guy, he said the package with poop was unacceptable. It's too much. But he keeps defending. No, it's Trump. It's Trump. It's Trump. They kept saying it's Trump. The tone. What kind of tone is supposed to use? When the Democrats use it, it's not a tone. Another communist, another twisted mind communist. Jim Carrey. Somebody who's announcing something over. I don't have an enclosed room here where it can be silent, completely silent. So I'm going to wear into this asshole passes by. Yeah. Read this if you can read it while this guy goes away. Jim Carrey depicts the president. He paints the president inside a bowl full of poop. And that's not the only thing he has done. He does a whole bunch of. He did a couple of paintings with Donald Trump with this long one. This guy's demented. You know, I thought the guy was a real good comedian. And he was at first, a couple of years ago, where he was a good, comedian. You know, I admired the guy. I said, oh, wow, this guy's good. But then when I see him doing these political comments, you know, it's terrible. I don't want to show this one because this one is kind of out of place. You know, Jim Carrey completely shows here that he's deranged. He's gone from being a comedian to extremely deranged. Well, now you see him with a beard, looks like some kind of a jihadist too. Who knows? Maybe someday you'll probably hear him converted to jihadist. Nice ploy, by the way, where Jill Biden, I think this is Joe Biden's wife, and at the border feeding those coming in illegally. You know, I'm not against feeding them, but how about sending them back? I said, okay, no problem. Now let's walk. We'll feed you. You okay? Okay. Welcome to the main entrance. And yeah, bye-bye. And close the gates. You made the effort. We will feed you, right? You okay? With the water and everything. Set them up. Okay, now bye-bye. Yeah. Now you got to go back. The same time you took to walk over here, now walk back. Now talking about Hunter Biden, like I was talking about Hunter Biden, about his case. Well, it says here, fraud, money laundering, and counterfeiting scheme. Hunter Biden subject of multiple criminal investigations related to fraud, money laundering, and counterfeiting scheme. No wonder he was dishonorably discharged from the Navy. Hunter Biden, the son of Joe Biden's son. So it's true what they say about the apple. It doesn't fall too far from the tree because his father is also involved with the Ukraine. He doesn't want to admit it. He doesn't want to admit that his son is corrupt to the court. But thank God the investigation showed that he has multiple criminal cases. So eventually, I hope he goes to prison together with his father so they can be a pair. Maybe his father, while he's in prison, can give him some stupid advice. Democrats' House counsel says Trump could be impeached again if McGahn testimony produces new evidence of impeachable offenses. They're going to spend more money. You know what I got a funny feeling it is? It's a feeling of trying to win the Senate again so they can keep on, putting the money in, stealing the money for nothing. It's all a show to keep on getting money and more money and stay in power. Because what's the use if you're gonna do a show where it's gone down the hill and it has been a total fraud, a scheme, and it's been shown that way? Why the hell keep on with the same drama? They just keep it. It's like having be stinging you in the behind. They want to keep stinging. Well, if Trump wins again, they want to again sting. And divert the attention of the people towards the extreme left. And in this case, you want to see something about Bernie Sanders pretty soon. I hope he never wins because he's the worst of them. They're all bad, but he is, believe me, a true Stalinist. And he's offering a lot of things that all the naive people want to hear. And it's the same thing that happened in Cuba, Venezuela, North Korea, and the Chinese Revolution, and the ex-Soviet Union. They'll have you hear whatever the people want to hear, they'll talk about. Yeah, you're going to get free stuff. Everything is going to be free. School's going to be free. Everything, food's going to be free. You don't have to pay for nothing. Can you believe that? Can you believe you will live without paying anything? If you believe that, then it's like, I don't know if it was Barnum or Bailey, each one of those characters said there's a sucker born every day. And there you fall in that category, it's a sucker. I'll do with this one. Now check the AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Ocasio-Cortez, America is not an advanced society. It is fascism. What we have here, she has a video, she tells me, I don't want to put it down, you're going to take my time with her stupidity. But she's supporting the Bernie Sanders. Look, Cortez declared that the United States is not an advanced society and is evolving into a fascist country while campaigning alongside presidential candidate Senator Bernie Sanders in Los Angeles, which has turned into a communist state where people are pooping in the aisles of supermarkets and on the street sidewalks while you're eating in the restaurant and looking. While you're eating a nice steak, a guy is putting a pile right next to you. Who knows? You probably could even smell it. And that's what you want? They're evil. They're evil. If you don't want to believe me, if you don't want to believe anything I'm talking about here, it's okay. Okay, but you're gonna live it. If God forbid that ever comes to the United States, you're gonna live it, and you're gonna understand what I'm talking about when it's too late. Here I got a photo with I couldn't believe this. I saw this, I couldn't believe it. Danny DeVito is a communist now. He's supporting Bernie Sanders. I can't believe Danny DeVito is not a poor person. No, he's a famous actor, very good actor, a comedian, very good, very good. And he's gone down this long. I don't know if he's old enough and he's already receiving a pension or something. I don't know. Maybe he's still making movies. I really don't know. Or maybe living on his wealth. Is he that, I can applaud that a person can say, well, I don't got too long to live. I want to turn in all my wealth. But to turn it over to a communist? Because at the long run, who's going to benefit from all his wealth is one person. It's going to be Bernie Sanders. Everything is going to go into his hands. And Bernie Sanders knows it. That's why he's working so hard to win the election. Because he knows there's people stupid enough, extremely stupid enough, to believe his bullshit. So, and I can't believe Danny DeVito has fallen to that. Danny DeVito, is that true? You're a communist though? Look, there's a photo of you. You can answer that. Because if you are, why don't you just say it? Hey, look, I'm a communist. I support communism. Okay, something happened with my phone here. It's not. You can't get more clear than that. Look at Danny DeVito lifting Bernie Sanders' hand. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito. You know, there was a guy who was more or less that small, just like Danny DeVito, a real small guy who supported Joseph Stalin, and Joseph Stalin just for some reason he decided he wanted the guy eliminated, had him shot, just by whim, and erased from history. He even erased him from a lot of photos. Thank God there is some people who saved some photos of that moment where he was under. He was one of Stalin's deputies. The guy was ill. He thought he was going to be secured by being just as evil as Stalin was, and he was wrong. He was deadly wrong because he was killed by order of Joseph Stalin. I forget the name of the guy. He shows up in some photos. Maybe people who fled the system. I carried those photos because a lot of the photos where he was with Joseph Stalin, he was erased. But he was no part of Joseph Stalin. What's the word for it? Cabinet. Let me put a cabinet. That's another word for that. I'm forgetting. And he's there. Look, he's proud of it. Look, there's a couple of photos with him, with Danny DeVito. There's a couple of photos. Look at this. Yeah, look at this. With a big smile on his face. Oh, yeah, go Bernie, yeah. But, he's really, the DeVito, you really, really Hollywood. I can't believe it. Hollywood is deranged. Well, not all of them. We saw some of them, but you got East Clinton, and a lot of other conservative actors. But there's a lot of deranged actors. It's contaminated with twisted actors and movie directors. It's incredible, but no, that's the case here. Well, I'm gonna give you a date in history. What happened on today, the 24th of December. Joe Barlow, March 24, 1754, and died in December 26th. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, it was today in history, not that he died or he was born today. Was an American poet and diplomat, a French politician and politics. He supported the French Revolution and was an ardent Jeffersonian Republican. He worked as an agent for American speculator William Dewar to set up the Scioto Company in Paris in 1788 and to sell Wilson goods to land in the Northwest Territory with ship. This guy from the internet again. I left. No, wait a minute. There's something wrong here. I don't know what happened here. I got something wrong here because it wasn't today that he died. I must have mixed up the date. Even though I looked into the today in history on December the 23rd, and now it comes out that it wasn't on the 23rd. I don't know if it's a mistake of the page that I went into, or I pushed the wrong button. I'm sorry for that. I want to eliminate that because it just has nothing to do with the date of today, what happened today in history on the 24th of December. So I'm going to try to find out. It's going to take me time. Now here, I'm going to leave you with a Christmas song by the Mormon Tabernacle. Oh, come all be faithful. And I'll end with that. No, it's going to turn on. Sometimes it'll turn, and sometimes it won't. Merry Christmas, America. Uh-oh. I didn't touch anything. So I don't know what happened here. Okay. Well, that'll be all for today. God bless you. God bless America. Merry Christmas to all. And God bless you, Donald Trump. I always pray for you. I always pray for my country. I wish everybody the best in this holiday. The New Year's coming. Bye. That'll be all for today. Bye-bye.